Hear a heartfelt connection to the American Heart Association from the president of the local board of directors. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Myrtle Beach Herald. We're focused on the 11th annual American Heart Ball to be held this Saturday. And we're visiting with the president of the Waccamaw Division of the American Heart Association, Lance Thompson. Good morning, Lance.
Hi, Greg. How are you?
Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
We are this close. We're like 48 hours away.
Absolutely.
It's nuts.
We're looking forward to a big event.
It's going to be a tremendous one. And I think last year, you remember, we were up at the Marriott the day before. You were with us visiting the day before the event. And, of course, to see a turnout, I think it was like 850 folks last year.
It certainly was. And I promise to be bigger this year. More fun, more exciting, and raising more money.
How can they pack more folks into that room, Lance?
Some creative scheduling. So, yeah, we're really excited about the event this year. And the Marriott's worked really well with us. A lot of volunteers have worked very hard. And so we're really going to put on a fantastic event and have a great time.
You know, so many folks show up at events like that, and obviously they paid a lot. I mean, they're making a big donation to the American Heart Association. They're all decked out in whatever attire. And it's tough to imagine how many volunteers really make an event like that happen.
It really is, Greg. And you know, it starts really after this year's event, planning for next year's event. So this has been going on for an entire year, and a lot of behind-the-scenes work going on, and a lot of volunteers that it takes that people don't all the time see. And so we're extremely grateful and thankful to have the people working hard for the American Heart Association like we do, because it takes an awful lot to put on an event like this.
Absolutely. Of course, you know, Elaine Thompson was with us on Monday.
Right.
Glenda McIntyre was with us yesterday, and Chief Judge Jennifer Wilson will be with us tomorrow.
Great co-chairs, all of them.
Incredible.
Fantastic ladies. Yep, have worked extremely hard, and all are just terrific ladies.
The triumvirate of those three has been tremendous. And Lance, when people hear a goal like $285,000, they think, you know, how can I really make a difference? How?
Right.
But every little penny is added up.
Oh, it really does add up, Greg, and it takes an awful lot to come together with the sponsorships and the attendees, ticket sales, and the auction items. With everything going together, then hopefully we reach that goal. And again, it's for a very good cause. So we're all working very hard for the American Heart Association.
And how about that Segway and four-wheeler and the golf cart again?
A lot of good items for people at this year's auction. So we're hoping that people get really excited and come out and bring their credit cards and ready to do their shopping.
Yes, checkbooks, credit cards, anything, cash even.
Absolutely, we'll accept cash.
That's right. Lance, real quick about yourself, for viewers who may not have caught you here or out in the community, are you originally from the area?
No, I'm from Charlotte originally. Been here about 20 years now. It's hard to believe, but came here in 1985. So now make Myrtle Beach my home with my wife and children, and just couldn't imagine a better place to live than the Myrtle Beach area.
Oh, yeah. What brought you to Myrtle?
Actually, got recruited out of graduate school to come to work at Ocean Lakes, and honestly thought that I'd come to work at the beach for a couple of years and then go get a real job, and now 20 years later, here I am still hanging around.
That is amazing, Lance.
But it's a wonderful family. The Jackson family is a wonderful family to work for and to work with, and we've got a great organization with the Jackson Companies and Ocean Lakes Family Campground and Prestwick Country Club and all the different businesses that we're involved in. So I'm very fortunate to be here and be doing what I'm doing.
Lance, how often do you find folks that spend 20 years with the same company?
Probably not nearly as often as you would years ago. I think anymore people aren't as loyal both on the employer side and the employee side. I will have to say at the Jackson Companies, we're extremely fortunate that we have long-tenured employees in all of our businesses. And it makes a positive statement for the Jackson family and the kind of company that we work for. So I'm very proud to say that I work for the Jackson Companies, and there's an awful lot of people just like me that have been around a long time and couldn't imagine working anywhere else.
You and Barb were so wonderful in trying to help line up Nelson, Mary Emily's husband. I guess it was almost 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. He was kind enough to be here with us. And, amazing hearing him talk about his 4 daughters. And five daughters, excuse me. And the longevity within the family of remaining involved. And, of course, hearing him talk about either on camera or off camera, you and Steve and David and Dennis and, of course, Winston and so many others that have continued to strengthen the company and position you all for growth well into the 22nd, 21st century.
Yeah, we actually have a great team, and we're very fortunate to have the people we do and the places that we do, and it's just a great group to work for. Everybody looks forward to coming to work every day, and we're fortunate enough to be doing what we're doing in this community and have been successful, and so we're extremely proud to be here and just fortunate to be doing what we're doing, and again, with the Jackson family. Mr. and Ms. Jackson are wonderful to be around and great to talk to. I know you've spent some time with them, and very interesting the stories they have over there. You know, they're both in their 80s now, and just have some wonderful stories to tell.
For viewers who may not have visited Ocean Lakes Family Campground, where is it located, Lance, and is it open to the public?
Greg, we're on the south end. We're right where Highway 544 dead ends into Highway 17 business, right on the ocean front. We've got about a mile of beachfront. We're about 310 acres, and we're a privately owned campground. We do have traditional campsites as well as annual lease sites, beach house rentals, just a wide variety of things. So we're not open to the public for beach access as much, but certainly would welcome anyone to come and take advantage of our facilities as our guest in accommodations, either on the camping side or on the rental side.
Now, Lance, do you ever get folks who come in for the first time ever, their first camping experience, and make Ocean Lakes their first try?
We actually do a lot, Greg, and we're very fortunate that word of mouth has really been a terrific way for us to market our business. And so a lot of times when people get into the camping business, they've talked to friends or family or coworkers who have been to Ocean Lakes, and so they come, and it's always fun to talk to those folks who experience us for the first time, and maybe it's their first experience camping, because we're a very large organization and not like probably any other camping business anywhere. And with the diverse accommodations that we have. So it's always fun to see people that come in and they get their eyes open to all that we have to offer, and what a fun place it is to come and visit.
Share with the viewers to get a sense of what that is like, Lance, kind of behind there, because of course folks driving up and down 17 business
right.
over and over for years, whether they're heading from Pawleys Island up to Little River or vice versa. I mean, they're seeing Ocean Lakes, they're seeing Lakewood, they're seeing Pirate Land, of course, Apache and other things on the north end.
Right.
They're seeing these things, but because they're all kind of gated and private,
sure.
What's behind there?
Just about anything that you could ever ask for. At Ocean Lakes, we've got about 900 traditional campsites and about 2,500 annual lease sites. And about 450 of those are occupied on a year-round basis for people that make that their residence, their full-time home. The rest of them are used as vacation homes, second homes, rental properties for them. And then once inside the property, we've got just about any amenity you could ever think of, from food service opportunities to a full-service store, laundromat, swimming pools, full recreation department, golf cart rentals. Lots to do inside of our gates, and we try to keep people busy and happy once they arrive with us. And if they don't want to get out into the traffic and congestion of the Myrtle Beach area in the summertime, then we certainly like to make them happy inside our gates and keep them right there.
I know y'all keep it pretty crowded in there in the summer. I mean, Lance, you guys...
We do.
Yeah.
We do. It's hard to believe, but inside of our gates when we're full, there's about 30,000 people.
Oh, come on.
And it's really hard to believe, but that's inside our gate when we're full on holidays in the summertime with all of the sites that we have, about 30,000 people, which growing up was bigger than about any town I ever lived in. So
yeah.
It's really like a town unto itself, and but just a great group of people and a lot of fine visitors, guests that have a great time when they come. It's just a fun place to be.
I just trying to imagine that camping experience, having never been camping before. That first, I mean, when you get folks in for the first time, and of course you talked about the 900 traditional campsites.
Correct.
And then how many of, what would be the difference between the traditional campsite and I think what you said,
the annual lease sites?
Right.
And those are more of a permanent type. We allow everything from mobile homes, RVs with Florida rooms or additions built on, all the way up to beach houses. We're actually having stick-built, elevated above-the-ground beach houses built now, which is kind of the latest most popular avenue of acquiring a place at Ocean Lakes, and those are used again as second homes, vacation homes, or rental properties. We have a real estate company that handles the sale and rental of those annual lease sites, and we handle about 300 as a property management company for a fee, a commission, and rent those for the leaseholders. So people will call us, and if they like the atmosphere and environment of a campground but don't necessarily have a camper or even like to camp but like to be inside the gates where we are, then we can certainly accommodate them at our rental accommodations.
That is tremendous, Lance. When you talk about 30,000 folks and 310 acres, that's like, I'm not good with math, but 100 folks an acre. I mean,
it gets a little crowded.
Yeah.
You know, we tell people that if the back to nature serene experience is what you're looking for, Ocean Lakes is probably not the place for you, because we do have an awful lot of people, but it's high energy. There's a lot of activity. A lot of people want to come in and see what's going on, and of course the young boys looking to meet the young girls and vice versa. It's a great place for a lot of personal interaction there, and we're actually into our third generation now of families that people have come as children. Now they're bringing their children, even grandchildren. So it's been an interesting evolution for us since about 1970 when we opened our doors.
It was 1970. I was about to say I thought it was 71. I knew it was right there, the first part of the 70s.
Yeah.
That is tremendous, Lance. You know, it's so fascinating. Of course, you think how you could maintain a job like that with that kind of activity, but I mean, there are peak seasons.
There are, and you know, when the kids are out of school is our busy time. June, July, and August is our very busiest times, but even the fall and spring, the shoulder seasons, have become extremely busy for us as well. It used to be we would get a lot of camping groups that would help offset the drop-off in business from our family camping business, but anymore, there's a lot of empty nesters or kids with preschool-age children or retirees that come, and the spring and fall have become tremendous times to come camp in Myrtle Beach. As you know, the weather's a little more accommodating, not quite as hot, and the traffic's a little better. The rates are down. It's a great time to be in Myrtle Beach, and people have kind of figured that secret out. Mm-hmm. December, January, and February are still our slowest times, but we still do have people that come and spend the winters with us. So it has truly become a year-round business for us.
I think a lot of folks would be interested in seeing Ocean Lakes and the other camping resorts or campgrounds in the area. Is there much camaraderie between you all?
There is. It's an awful lot of working together. We have a Myrtle Beach Family Campground Association that we work together, actually attend some travel shows together, basically promoting the Myrtle Beach area as a camping destination. Right. We've got 7 family campgrounds in Myrtle Beach, 6 of them right on the ocean front, 1 right downtown that's a little off the beach, but there's something that every one of those campgrounds can offer to guests, and we as a group feel like if we can encourage them to come to Myrtle Beach, they're going to find their favorite campground and then be loyal, and it's going to benefit the whole group as long as we can promote Myrtle Beach as a camping destination.
Are there other camping destinations like Myrtle on the coast, or would they be indicative of communities like mountainous areas or Midwest, or where would be some other places?
A lot of our competition is either Virginia Beach or in Florida, and there are some oceanfront campgrounds in Florida. The oceanfront campgrounds in Virginia Beach are not actually on the beachfront. People actually have to cross a road to get over to the beach. So we're a little bit unique in that we have very large properties, and people can camp actually real close to the beach without having to cross any kind of highway or road to get over to the beach itself.
Mm-hmm. I've seen so many times y'all promoting the National RV Park of the Year. I think I was sitting here next to you in a meeting recently and saw that on your sleeve for so many years. Some of the folks you're competing against in something like that, Lance, are truly all over the country.
They are. Actually, the winter, we were in Savannah back in November for this past year's national convention, and a park in Arizona was named the mega park, the largest size park, as RV Park of the Year. So they've had them from California and Texas and Arizona, and fortunately, we've been fortunate enough to have won it 3 times now since 1997. Lakewood won it once as well, so we've kind of kept it here in the Myrtle Beach area. More than any other area, I think, across the country.
In the country. That is tremendous.
Yeah, it really makes a fine statement for not only the individual properties, but the Myrtle Beach area in general is a great place to come and bring your family and have a wonderful camping experience.
Lance, we could spend all morning talking about family campgrounds. We only got about 10 minutes left.
Okay.
You know, it's fascinating when we think about an event 2 days from now. And, of course, we'll have Jennifer in tomorrow to talk more about it. But words like Segway and four-wheelers and golf carts come up, but there's also things like tremendous menu, other tremendous auction items, and the ability to share in the occasions.
Yeah, the wonderful entertainment with the occasions, and I think that the auction itself is one of the highlights of this event. I think most of the galas do have an auction, but the volunteers for the Heart Ball really do a great job of acquiring auction items, and there's really something for just about everybody, from, like you say, trips or dinners or whether it's golf carts, vehicles, segways. There's just really a lot of opportunities, art, a lot of opportunities for people to come in and get some auction items at a good deal, something that they may not be able to pick up anywhere else. So people really look forward to that and hopefully come and are willing to pay and get a good deal and support the Heart Association all at the same time.
One of the great things, Lance, is when you think about that aspect, so many folks arrive right at 6, and so many of those same folks are right there at midnight when the occasions, or last year chairman of the board, or for so many years amazing bands, are winding down. 6 hours, they're in the same place. Normally you think, I can't even spend 6 hours at work.
Yeah, that's
continuously.
Truth. That's the truth. It has been a truly popular event for people over the years, and one of the highlights of the season that people really look forward to. I think our event's one that people really get excited about and want to make sure that they have their tickets lined up. And it's a pretty sad day when you miss out and aren't able to attend the Heart Ball. So people really pay close attention to the dates and make sure that they are lined up and have it on their calendar and are able to attend, because people really have a great time. And we got some new things lined up this year and are really looking forward to a great event. So there's a lot of excitement and enthusiasm, and I think 48 hours from now we're really going to see a lot of people having a great time.
48 hours from now, Lance, a little more than that, you're actually going to be partaking or taking a part in this year's Heart Ball in a different way. I know last year, seeing you and Marjorie working at the registration table for 3 and 4 hours trying to make sure everyone got in and knew the tables they were at. But this year, and I know this took a lot to be able to be willing to get up. Can you share with the viewers how you're going to be a part of this year's Heart Ball?
Sure, be glad to, Greg. We actually, as compared to working in the past at registration or the auction or some different areas, this year Marjorie, my wife, and I have agreed to bring our 2 daughters, and we hope to be able to have our youngest daughter come up on stage and kind of tell the story of one of the reasons why we're so involved with the Heart Association and why it means so much to us. Savannah's 9 years old now, and she was born with Williams syndrome back in 1995. And every Williams syndrome child has a heart defect. And we knew that shortly after she was born and knew that she would have open heart surgery at some point in her life. And about the time she was 4 years old, the doctors came, and we were at MUSC, and the doctors said it's really time for her to go ahead and have the surgery. And they were going to open her chest, and she had a narrowing of her aortic artery. So they explained that what they would do with the surgical procedure and try to repair this defect that she had. Unfortunately, shortly after they administered anesthesia, Savannah went into cardiac arrest right there on the operating table. And they could not get her heart started back. So the doctors came to us and said, we have really bad news. We can't get your daughter's heart started back. However, we've located the surgeon. We're going to go ahead and open her chest, get her on the bypass machine, and try to do this surgery. And so they did, and just an agonizing delay for us to wait throughout this entire time. They came back after the surgery and said, we have really good news. The surgery was a success, and we have gotten her heart started back after the surgery. The bad news is she was about 25 minutes without oxygen to her brain during the time they were opening her chest and getting her hooked up to the bypass machine. So we need for her, she has suffered significant brain damage, and we need for her to wake up as quickly as possible after this surgery. The sooner the better. The longer it goes, the worse it's going to be. And so we waited and waited, and for 23 days, Savannah lay in a coma on life support with absolutely no recognition of us or any of her surroundings, no awareness of anything. And the doctors at the 23rd day came and said, at 30 days, she's clinically in a vegetative state, and at 23 days now, she's just not going to get any better. I mean, we need to go ahead and tell you now, kind of what you see is what you got. She's not going to get any better. She's never going to be able to recognize you. She's going to be on life support. You need to start thinking about what your choices are going to be. And so we were just devastated. And believe it or not, that night, Savannah started to wake up. After 23 days, and right after the doctors told us she wasn't going to get any better, she started getting better. And once she started to improve, she really started to improve. And so we brought her home with a feeding tube in her stomach and got her off the ventilator, but brought her home with a feeding tube, and she was fed through a tube for a while, and then we got the feeding tube out. And now she's developed to the point where she's 9 years old. She still has tremendous challenges with the Williams syndrome that she was born with, but her heart's fixed. And with the research and development that comes from money being raised at events like we're talking about, it helps us, and that's why we're so aware and appreciative of everything the Heart Association does, and why it means so much to us. And basically we feel like it saved our daughter's life. So we're going to be able to share that that night, Saturday night at the Heart Ball, and hopefully encourage people to support as much as they can to be able to ensure that future success stories like Savannah's can happen.
Wow, Lance, what a powerful story. And obviously the aspects for you try to think, do you ever think back on those 23 days or think back to that experience and just whether it was prayers or what was going on in y'all's mind to continue to keep y'all strong so that y'all could be strong for Savannah?
I sure do, Greg. And as a matter of fact, in some ways it seems like it was 100 years ago, and in some ways it seems like it was just last week. But it was a tremendous amount of family support from my work, from Marjorie's work, from all the circle of friends, everybody that we have that helped us get through that, and a lot of prayer and a lot of belief that she was going to get better. And again, once she started to improve, she really improved quickly. So Marjorie stayed down at the hospital. She was down there a total of about 6 weeks and never left the hospital, stayed there the whole time. And I was trying to come back and help keep some semblance of normalcy for Chandler, our oldest daughter, with her being in school and all. So she and I traveled back and forth to Charleston on a regular basis. But we're very appreciative of MUSC, the doctors there, all the research that's been done, and the things that have helped take care of Savannah the way that she was taken care of with her problems.
Lance, I remember there was a song, there was something, a humming. I don't want to let anything out from Saturday night because we want everyone to experience you in this, in particular with Savannah there Saturday night. But there was something that helped trigger Savannah.
It's an interesting story. Savannah, even before she went to the hospital, there were sad songs, Hush Little Baby, several songs that you could just start singing and Savannah would start crying. Those were just sad songs, and she recognized those. And Marjorie was actually singing that song, Hush Little Baby, while holding Savannah that night on the 23rd night, and saw a tear come down her face. And she called me. I was actually here in Myrtle Beach, and she called and said, "You're not going to believe this, but Savannah recognized that I was singing that song." And I honestly thought Marjorie was losing her mind. The doctors had just told us she wasn't going to get any better. That day. And I really thought that Marjorie was seeing something that was not there. And I had to go back to Charleston, see it for myself, that all of a sudden she was starting to wake up. But it was interesting that song, when Marjorie started to sing that song and a tear came down her face, was the first indication that she did know what was going on around her and understood that song was her little sad song.
Wow. How powerful, Lance. How tremendous. And of course, so many folks, so many of our viewers can't be there Saturday night, obviously with the event thoroughly sold out. Last week and the week before, you and I, everyone were getting calls from folks trying to get in. But
sure were.
It prompts the stage for folks to start calling now and get their tickets put aside for next year.
Absolutely. Making plans and, whether it's tickets, sponsorship, any way that they can get involved. And then, just to support the Heart Association, we have not only the Heart Ball, but the Heart Walk and the Ride-a-thon. There's a lot of events that the Heart Association puts on throughout the year. And like you said earlier, donations, any type of donation, just the money adds up, and it's so important to help with that research and development, everything that goes into doing what the Heart Association does. So we'd love for people to get involved, even if they can attend the Heart Ball night after next. If they can somehow get involved in the Heart Association, we would be greatly appreciative.
There's so many challenges in this position, Lance, when you think of, because every year with Tammy Eaves at the helm, you all are constantly going up and up and up. This year with 200,000 goal on the walk, you beat that. 150 some, maybe 75 on the ride-a-thon. You were 200 some.
Right.
$285,000 goal for not tomorrow night, but the next night. I mean,
the bar has really been set high, and Tammy and her staff and all the volunteers have done a terrific job. And you're right, it's kind of become a victim of our own success, and the bar keep getting higher and higher. But fortunately, we've been able to do that, and every time we think that, well, we've kind of maxed out, then we're able to find some way to increase it even more. But it really makes a positive statement for all the people that are involved, all the volunteers, the staff at the Heart Association, which does a terrific job, and the people that really care an awful lot about that association and what it's doing.
When you look at your girls now and you think about how they've progressed and obviously grown even after Savannah's very challenging time down there, how she's grown, how Chandler's grown, do you think back to your own childhood, Lance?
I do, and again, very thankful for the good health that I had, seeing what Savannah's gone through and other children that were there at the hospital, and then knowing, the heart problems that we see through our association with the Heart Association. So I've been very thankful that I grew up as a healthy, happy child, and again, very thankful that things turned out the way they did for Savannah and Chandler.
Absolutely. Lance, thanks so much for being with us
Greg,
this
thank you
morning.
so much. I really enjoyed it.
Definitely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Lance Thompson coming up next. You can't really top a tremendous inspirational talk like Lance shared with about his daughter Savannah and her time down there, and obviously Williams syndrome and battling that, recognizing certain aspects that go along with that. One thing you can do, though, is focus on the volunteers like Lance and his wife, and so many folks that will be there this Saturday night at the 11th Annual American Heart Ball. It'll be held at the Myrtle Beach Marriott Resort at Grand Dunes. You've got volunteers for registration, for ticket sales, for picking up auction items, for moving auction items, for promoting live auction items, for work in a room, for helping to sell gift bags, for trying to keep people excited. Obviously, the momentum is great, but when you think about volunteers like Lance, you think about all the activities they're involved in, they step back, they recognize that someone's calling out to them to be involved with groups like the American Heart Association, like the Miracle League, like the March of Dimes. There's so many activities in the community, but you got to reach out, you got to grab some of them hard. Lance has done it with the American Heart Association. You can do it. You can be a part of it. You heard him say it. If you can't be at this year's Heart Ball, you can be at the Ride-a-thon next year. You can be out at the Heart Walk. You don't have to walk. You can send in a donation. You can visit the American Heart Association's website at heart.org, or you can give the local chapter a call at 843-626-3939. Be a part.